What's up, J family? How is everybody doing? Okay, so today we're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about fear because I'm going through a very scary situation right now, but I'm managing it. I'm managing it pretty well, and there's a few tactics I wanted to share with you. So the first thing, let's rewind. Let's go back to when I was 7 years old. Ready? Okay, so 7-year-old Sean was so scared of the dark. I was terrified of the dark. I would see things, that weren't even there, like hands coming out the ground or you name it. And eventually I got so sick and embarrassed of being so scared by the dark that the fear of the dark became worse than the things that I was imagining, the things that I was seeing, because I had a very vivid imagination. But the fear became even worse. So one day I decided to take this fear on. And so what I did is I went upstairs to my bedroom and I shut the door behind me. And I locked the door and turned off the lights. And I stood there and I remember the fear. I was terrified, but I was ready. And I remember being there with my fists up and I was like, come on, whatever you are, wherever you are, I'm ready. You know, like, take me on, let's go. Because I would rather have been eaten alive by the ghouls and gremlins and been taken into the abyss than to be afraid anymore. And so I was pushed to this point where I realized that you get what you tolerate. You get what you tolerate, and I was not going to tolerate the fear anymore. But here's the problem. As we get older, we get schooled to not seek risk. We get schooled to look for security, but we're primal. We're used to moving around. We're used to taking risks. We're used to being adventurous. A lot of us anyway. And so what happened with me is I had this very, very secure job and I had this enormous anxiety. And what I realized was it wasn't needing to acquire. It wasn't the fact that I needed to acquire more to get away from my fear. It's what I had to let go of. Now we get taught that fear is the enemy. It's the opposite of love, etc. Well, if that's true, and if it's true, then the best way to defeat an enemy is to make them your friend. I think that's from The Art of War, but the best way to defeat an enemy is to make them your friend. And so what I do now, and I'm going through a very, very scary patch right now. I can tell you now, I've taken on board a lot of risk and I love it. I've never felt so deliciously human and alive and good inside. And I've never had such low anxiety. I mean, I feel great. But here's the thing. Here's a little mind trick I'm going to give to you. So separate the fear you. So what I do is I separate the fear Sean and I vision the fear Sean here. I pretend to see him. And the fear Sean tells me, this is what I'm worried about. What if this happens? What if that happens? And I go, thank you for your concern. And thank you for preventing us and my ancestors from being eaten by lions and tigers, because that was your job. However, in this world, I'm going to take on board your concern, but it's pathetic. I'm going to go and live my life. Anyway, this is literally a mind trick you can do. Listen to your body. If your body has pain, listen to the pain. If you have fear, listen to the fear, but you need to stay in control. Don't let it control you. Until the next time, take care and talk soon.